Welcome on in to Wager Talk Today. That's right. No Andy Lang here on the show, but this is where, what does he say? We talk the talk and we walk the walk. That is what will happen here on this edition of Wager Talk Today. Wednesday, the 3rd of June. We got plenty of action coming your way. MLB, we got 2 games we'll be breaking down. Tell you about that in just a few. Skee Profit also joining us. It is game 1. That's right. The NBA Finals are upon us. Where has the line moved? What should we be betting on? And should you be betting this series pre-flop, or are we waiting to see what happens here in game 1? We'll get the thoughts from the experts on that. I'm your host, Dan Alexander, filling in for the great Andy Lang. Folks, we lost the free plays for you yesterday. Got to admit it right out of the gate. We had Bruce, who he had been cooking here in the chat, giving away free winners. He loses his play. Andy and I also lost the Wager Talk Today play of the day, but we will bounce back, and that is what we are here to do. The clients of Andy Lang, though, however, did great. $5 Tuesday, a terrific day for the clients. We'll let you know what Andy's got rocking here. And yes, Seth chiming in here early. If you missed yesterday's show, he went head-to-head with Ross the Boss. He said, give me Carolina. You want Vegas? Shove Vegas where the sun don't shine. Give me Carolina. Bet him head-to-head. And this morning we saw that Seth had to buy all access from our man Ross the Boss because he went head-to-head. And your boy Grant, Yato Grant, maybe, probably not. Billionaire's a high ceiling there, but maybe able to make you 1,000 there. We'll see what we can do here for you. What's coming up on the show here, folks? We have Bryan Power. He's going to kick things off. We're going to talk the Padres and my Philadelphia Phillies. We have Sanchez on the mound dealing this evening. So Padres, Phillies, how should we bet that one? And then his Cleveland Guardians against Mark Zinno's New York Yankees. So we're covering all the gamut here. I'm also going to pick Brian's thoughts here on what we have in the NBA Finals. But one of the best NBA bettors, WNBA bettors in the world. We got Skee Profit here. He's going to talk NBA Finals, Game 1 and the series, and he's also going to give you a play here on Tempo versus the Liberty. But let's get into it, folks. While you're hanging out with us, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We are rapidly approaching 250,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed already, that's the price of admission here. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and create a burner or two, and follow us there as well. Look at that, Bri. I'm stuffing the ballot box. Who cares? Wow. Let's get to 250,000, Bri. Looking good, brother. How you doing?
Yeah, I got the haircut, feeling fresh,
good.
Ready for game 1 of the NBA Finals. Ready to talk some baseball. I'm going to warn everybody ahead of time that, well, the one play is not disgusting, but this first one on your Philadelphia Phillies and San Diego Padres, I am predicting already a revolt from the chat here on Wager Talk Today. So
I like it. Let's piss them off here nice and early. So let's do it indeed. Bry's, like I said, we're going to talk San Diego taking on the Phillies at the Phillies ballpark, and then we'll do Cleveland Guardians here, Bry. So let's start with the Phils last night. Great game. I mean, thanks to Bryce Harper, man, getting that shot there to center field. Did things right there for my Phillies. I was thinking of selecting him for my Dinger Tuesday, and of course I didn't. I picked Yandy Diaz, and then the Rays forget how to play baseball against Flaherty, who's absolutely sucked. But we're not here to bitch about the bad bets I gave out, Bry. We're here to find how we can win today. And as you mentioned, Christopher Sanchez here on the mound, looking to continue what has been a historic stretch of shutout innings, looking to extend. It's a franchise record of his scoreless streak, and Padres, they definitely have the bats that could finally break through against Sanchez, but does that happen tonight? We're looking at a total, because of the pitching matchup that we have here, sitting around 7.5. The Phils are above $2 favorites. That feels a bit steep to me. First 5 makes a lot of sense, but full game, not so sure. Bri, what do you think? Padres, Phillies, how are you betting this one, brother?
Yeah, it's funny, Dan. A few weeks ago, I was doing the best betting show ever with Joe Ranieri, and we were.
Well, you're doing that right now. It might not be called the best. It's funny,
whenever I say that, everyone's like, "No, this is the bet." Like Zinno takes it very personally in the morning.
It's lazy. It's lazy self promotion, but I digress.
Look, I just try to be friends with everyone, no matter what show I'm on, Dan. But anyway, I was on with Joe Ranieri, no matter what you want to call the program, and we were examining NL Cy Young odds at that time. Keep on, this was 3 weeks ago, I want to say, and the name Christopher Sanchez was in between Paul Skeens and Jacob Misiorowski. I want to own something. I made note at the time, and I'll stand by what I thought 3 weeks ago. You saw Sanchez's name in between Skeens and Misiorowski. I said the Phillies were not doing well 3 weeks ago, Dan, as you know, following the team. And I said, look, next to those two names, a Phillies team that is middling right now, I didn't think Sanchez was necessarily a great buy in the Cy Young market. Well, apparently he took that very personally, Dan, didn't he? Because he has not allowed a run since I've uttered those words. So it is going to be hard for even I to talk anyone off betting the Phillies tonight with Sanchez on the mound in the month of May. What did he do? You threw out the word historic, Dan. I would concur. Let's throw out some numbers. He did not allow a single run last month. 45 strikeouts versus only 3 walks. Opponents just they hit just 181 off of him. 44 2/3 scoreless innings to be exact. Coming into tonight's game for San Diego. It's the franchise record for your Phils, Dan. It is the 7th longest streak, period, in Major League Baseball history, going back to 1920. And this is a Padres lineup that, on paper at least, kind of seems like an unlikely candidate to reverse what we've seen from Sanchez this season. San Diego's dead last in team batting average, dead last in runs scored. You throw in the fact the Phillies have scored 4 runs or fewer in 12 consecutive games, Dan, and there's a pretty compelling case, I suppose, to bet the under 7.5 tonight. After all, the under has cashed now in 17 of the Phillies' last 20 games. But Dan, I'd like to think that you don't bring me on this program to tell people to bet the obvious now, do you? I think there is a chance that the Phillies bats are going to break out tonight. First, as you know, this is a team that does not hit well on the road. But this game is in Philadelphia. At home, this offense is much closer to league average. You mentioned Bryce Harper earlier. 4.1 runs per game at home scored for the Phillies versus 3.6 on the road. They're facing Walker Buehler, who's starting tonight for the Padres. Buehler spent part of last season in Philadelphia. It has not been a great 2026 so far in San Diego for him, especially when he pitches on the road. 8.04 ERA, 1.98 whip in 4 starts. And those 4 road starts, Dan, have come against some bad offenses, too. The Red Sox, who were the lowest scoring home team in all of baseball. The Rockies, yes, they're better at home than on the road because, of course, but they haven't been great at home this year, the Rockies. The Giants' offense stinks, and the Mariners are in the bottom half as well. Seattle's a pitcher's park. For what it's worth, Seattle does score more on the road. 4.33 runs per game versus just 3.5 at home. Eventually, Sanchez is going to give up runs, right? I mean, he's not going to go the rest of the season not giving up a run. It's a low total. The numbers move from 7 to 7.5. Looking at the odds screen, let's try the over here. Hopefully, the Phillies can get to Buehler early. I think that is the key.
Sorry, I was removing from the barf bag there that we're going over while Sanchez is on the mound. Although, here's the thing, Brian, is you mentioned he hadn't let up since you were talking, hey, this isn't sustainable, this isn't great. Hasn't let up a run since that point. You've now thrown down the gauntlet that at some point this season, he will allow a run. Let's only hope for Phillies fans that your streak can continue, that it's only incorrect. But here's the thing for me. Is 7.5 okay? I understand what you have on the mound here for the Phillies, but if he does get tagged a little bit here, then that becomes a dicey proposition. And as you mentioned, you're also completely cutting off the side of the equation of this Phillies lineup that, yes, it's a lot of solo shots, but if they can get in a rhythm, you kind of saw some inklings of that last night. A 7.5 could be threatened by the Phils lineup alone at home. And it's not like the weather's going to be that crazy. It's 81, humidity's decent, wind is barely blowing in. So it makes sense to me.
Sounds like a lovely day outside, Dan, where you're at.
It is. It's a beautiful day.
I'll just look. I really do think, guys, the key is Philadelphia getting to Buehler, though. I mean, obviously, Sanchez is going to. eventually he is going to give up a few. It's not going to be a lot. Even going back before the scoreless streak, he's only had one bad start. It was against the Cubs, and I think that was one of those windy days in Wrigley. It was a total of 9.5 at the Cubs. So that usually indicates that it was a windy day at that park. But again, he's going to get, if he gives up a couple runs and the Phillies do what I think they can do against Buehler, 7.5 isn't asking for much.
I love it. WT.buzz/BP is where you can find Bry's premium picks. Before we talk this Cleveland Guardians and New York Yankees game, I think the Guardians just scored another run, but we'll talk about that in just a few here. What do you got locked and loaded for clients? NBA game 1 of the NBA Finals is going tonight. MLB is still in action. You've picked your spots here in MLB. Hopefully that continues. What do you got for clients tonight?
Yeah, so I have a play on game 1 of the finals tonight. We're up 57.8 units in all sports, Dan, since April 17th. Number 1 win percentage in MLB during that time. We're 28-11 with all Major League Baseball going back to April 17th. I really, especially since I'm talking baseball here on the show today, wanted to sweeten the pot, so to speak, and add a baseball play to today's card. I don't think I'm going to do it. I've been spending all morning here before I got on with you, trying to find an edge. Didn't really see one. We had a great winner to start the week with Milwaukee on Monday, who won 16-2. They're not always going to be that easy, but you celebrate when they are. Nevertheless, we've got a best bet in game 1 of the NBA Finals, like I said. Shout out to anyone who joined me. I had this play up as part of the $5 Tuesday promotion yesterday. Here's the deal, guys. I think this is the bet you need to make tonight. It's an angle that I really love. We're 29-13 in the NBA playoffs, going back to the end of last year's playoffs. So that's a 69% playoff run. We've hit over 60% of all NBA bets, Dan, going back more than 365 days. That includes a 6-1 record in last year's finals. We did very well in last year's finals. I don't know if you remember. I know you're very active on social media and Instagram, but for me, it was very heart-stopping when I had called out the Indiana Pacers and their fan base discovered my video. I was very nervous for about 2 weeks, and thankfully the Thunder won that series. But we hope to do well again in the finals, and it starts tonight. Game 1, best bet. Get it now. Engagement is engagement, BP.
And that is all that matters. Check it out, WT.buzz/BP. Also, great deals. You can buy the play here tonight, but you can also get some all access. All those deals are loaded over at Bry's page. So, Bry, we can talk a little bit about that a little later. But right now, we teased it. Let's talk this Cleveland Guardians, New York Yankees matchup. I was joking, Cleveland scored another one. This looked like it was going to be a really good game, and then it was 6 runs to end the game here for Cleveland, unanswered from the Yankees. So now the Yankees with Cole, who's since coming back from that surgery, been pretty damn good here. It's not like he's been tested all that much against the lineups that he was facing. However, he's been damn good. And now you're going to see Cole again. Yankees, modest 145 favorite. This total, though, we're sitting at 9. How are you looking to attack this one, Bry?
Well, I think the big news that we need to start off with is Aaron Judge not being in the lineup yesterday. They dropped the series opener. It appears that he's going to miss at least a few games. He's going to see a specialist, according to reports. So I get that the Yanks seem a little bit vulnerable without their best hitter, especially going against Gavin Williams tonight. Williams, along with Parker Messick, they've been the 2 stars this Cleveland rotation so far, Dan. Over the last 3 starts, Williams has gone 3-0 with a 1.29 ERA and 22 strikeouts. I caught him in person last Wednesday. As a matter of fact, as soon as I got done talking to you and Andy on the show last week, I drove up I-77, caught the Guardians, cashed a ticket with the Guardians' first 5 on the run line, laying a half a run. I joked they left that late. We were down to our last out, and they scored a couple runs to bring that home. That was nice. But Messick, he was great at home against the Nats. And that's a good Nats lineup as well. But there have been a few subpar starts from Williams this season. 3 times he has given up 5 runs or more. And again, it's all about price, Dan. I think this price on the Yankees at home tonight, it feels cheap. Let's compare it to yesterday. They closed around minus 205 on the money line, even after it was I know it was kind of late when it was announced Judge wouldn't play, but still. Now we're getting them, south of minus 150. I know Schlittler was starting yesterday, but you mentioned Garrett Cole. Okay, he is not chopped liver. 2 starts since returning from injury. He is not allowed to run. 12 2/3 scoreless innings, just 6 hits, 10 strikeouts, no walks last time out. I'd back the Yankees here at this price. I would. I know it's not, that minus 150 range for some is teetering. I don't really like laying that price. I think the Yankees are a better ball. I know without Judge, it's a little scary. I think the Yankees are a much better ball club than the Guardians.
Yeah, and let's be real too. If you're going to be shied away of betting in the 145 to 150 favorite corridor, it will be a very long MLB season for you. That is a very palatable money line. When you start getting around 175, 160s, okay. But you can shop around. You can find that thing 143. I'm with you. I mean, Cole's been great. I wouldn't hate looking at him, here in the first 5 as well. Maybe even lay the run and a half, or lay the half a run, in the first 5. We'll see how the bats come along missing Judge, but I like that one, Brian.
Yeah, I made mention that 16-2 winner I had on Monday with the Brewers. That was kind of in a similar price range, and I compare. Look, I think the gap between Milwaukee and San Francisco certainly is a lot larger than the gap between the Yankees and Guardians. That's why that Brewers play was a premium client selection in this one. It's just my opinion here on this game, the Yankees, but still, yeah. I mean, you mentioned it, like sometimes minus 150 guys, it's not all that bad. And then you do some comparative price shopping, if you will, or comparative price analysis, I should say. Yankees were minus 200 yesterday. Now they're minus 150. Cole is not a bad pitcher.
Yeah, right there with you, and only going to likely get stronger as the year goes on. That's Bryan Power. All right, Brian, we got a little bit of time here before Skee's going to hop in here, and we'll go in-depth this game one. We'll talk player props. Folks, if you do want a player prop, I can tell you, head on over. Check out the morning wager. It became slightly the morning or late afternoon or early afternoon, wager, because I was a little bit late getting it up. But it is up now on both Picks and Parlays and on WagerTalk.com's or WagerTalk's YouTube page. And they have a player prop in the NBA Finals here in Game 1 that you can check out right here on the channel. Easy way to find it, folks. Make sure you subscribe and check out the sister page over at Picks and Parlays, and you can find those plays at picksandparlays.net. But since we have a little bit of extra time here, man, this was the graphic that I made yesterday for this series price on San Antonio and the New York Knicks. As I'm looking at the live odds screen here, you can check it out at wagertalk.com, or you can check out oddslogic.com. That's the premium tool that is up to the second you're getting updates. I'm seeing this thing's pretty much settled in, minus 190. We're seeing as low as minus 180 at some spots for San Antonio. So what was a $2 favorite, people are liking the Knicks here, man. So as we head into one, the thought here on the series, just a little overview. What are you thinking, Bri, as we head on in? Seems like it should be a hell of a matchup.
Yeah, so the Knicks, look, let's not sugarcoat it. They are on literally the greatest 11-game run we have ever seen in NBA history. That's what the numbers say. They've outscored their opponents by 262 points over the last 11 games. Keep in mind, before this current run by the Knicks, we had never seen a team in NBA playoff history outscore opponents by over 200 points in 11 games. They've done 262. That's really impressive. Now, it's a step up in class after they face the likes of the Hawks, the Sixers, the Knicks. Now they face San Antonio. Interestingly enough, it's the third straight series where the Knicks are facing a team coming off a 7-game series. All of the trends. I did a video preview, by the way, for not just game one, but the series people can check out elsewhere here on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. The trends are very clear. When a team's coming off a 4-game sweep and facing a team coming off a 7-game series, the trends favor the team coming off the 4-game sweep. That only seems logical, right? The contrarian in me thinks that the Knicks are getting a little bit too much love coming into this series. Dan, underdogs historically have not performed well in game one. As this shocked me. As a matter of fact, okay? There has never been an instance of the underdog winning game one outright in consecutive years in the NBA Finals. Of course, last year, the Indiana Pacers won game one outright against the Oklahoma City Thunder. So history says, as long as the NBA's been around, the Knicks aren't going to win tonight. We'll see if they can reverse that trend. My best bets on the first half, I'll let you people can check that out again. That's available WT.buzz/BP. 29-13, again, NBA playoff run going back to last year. So we see it well.
Yeah, BP, nothing like those type of trends, right? The great, like, hey, Well, last year the underdog won outright, which was a completely different team, two completely different teams. Yeah. But because we live in a simulation, it cannot happen again. So will it?
I'm not saying it won't. I'm just saying that's what the numbers say.
I liked it.
Yeah. And also, it'll be interesting to hear what Skee has to say about this. It's been very simple, guys, in these NBA playoffs and NBA Finals history as well. Whoever you think is going to win the game covers. This year in the NBA playoffs, the straight up winner is 72-7 against the spread in this year's playoffs.
Oh, now that's a trend that matters.
NBA Finals history, the last 68 games in the NBA Finals, the straight up winner is 62-3-3 against the spread, including a perfect 7-0 last season. So the point spread typically does not matter in the NBA Finals. We obviously generally have tighter point spreads, although that wasn't the case last year. Indiana, they were usually a big dog on a game by game basis.
Wow. I don't know what I like more. Those prescriptive trends that make a hell of a lot of sense, or the fact you wore the Phillies stuff to pander. But I will appreciate it, Bryan, either way.
I was going to wear my Guardian sweater under this, but that was too many layers. And take it off for the thing, hey, I'll do anything.
Christopher Sanchez would be disgusted in you wearing that.
Well, we've already been over that. Yes. No hard feelings, Chris. All right.
Bryan, appreciate you, man. Best of luck. That's WT.Buzz/BP. As he alluded to, we're going to get thoughts here from our man, Skee Profit, and I won't keep you waiting. Let's get right to it. Skee, how we doing, man? The NBA Finals is upon us. This is your time of year, brother. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. I've been better, actually. I'm not the best today. I'm a little bit irritated,
well,
but I'll be okay. They've been better.
Hey, well, a little bit of irritated, honestly, as a bettor is kind of damn good, because then you're pissed off. You're like, all right, let's get after this board. So only up to go, my man. We appreciate you joining us here on WagerTalk Today. Andy is he's telling people that he's shipping something for his mom, but the whole story feels very drug smugglish. So I'm not sure if he is or if he's not, Skee, but Andy will not be with us for the next. Yeah.
It's okay. We can get it done. But I see one comment. And that's why
go ahead.
Bit right there why I'm annoyed. It's JD right there in the chat. Says Skee got robbed on his last bet in the playoffs with that garbage dunk at the end there on his total. Man, I drank so much tequila after that. I was so upset. I'm still lingering right now.
The tequila is lingering, or the upsetness is lingering, or a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B, a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Yeah. Well, Skee, don't worry, because even after that, even with that absolute bullshit dunk to screw you there, still we're up nearly 56 units. You're talking about a near 70% winning percentage. So yeah, we'll take the bad beat and we'll move on. We got plenty other options here. Let's talk game one, man. And I guess with the game one talk, you can kind of give your thoughts here on the series. You saw that Bryan was thinking maybe a little bit too much love for the Knicks. I think this is a super interesting matchup, man. I think truly there's parts of this Knicks and Spurs matchup that is brutal for both teams. Obviously the fly in the ointment of everything is Wembanyama, right? You got a generational type player. How do you match up with him? How does Cat match up with him? But we've seen Love in the future marketplace. We've seen Love. Obviously, this spread started around 5.5. We settled in at 4.5. So thoughts on the line move, thoughts on the series, and how are you looking to bet game one, my man?
Yeah, to what Bryan said, I think I heard him say that the road teams or the underdogs don't do well in game one. I mean, it usually makes sense. The other team is the much better. Andy's here in spirit. Appreciate that, Andy.
See, I love that. Love that.
The other team is usually the better team. I don't know that I can say confidently that the Spurs are the better team here in this matchup. They played a few times so far this season. They played actually a championship game, and the Knicks were able to come out on top in the Cup. I think that we can take some things away from that, the three matchups this season. Like you said, some things that both teams can take advantage of. The Knicks, they've hit a different gear. We've talked about this on this show maybe a couple of times now because they've won 11 games in a row. But when they started to run offense through Karl-Anthony Towns, it just made the offense so much more efficient. And that's why you see him putting up crazy numbers and continuing this winning streak. Now, Cat is going to be crucial. Against Wemby, to take Wemby away from the paint. And they've tried multiple different things, to counter it and haven't had much success. On the other side, Wemby just, his gravity, he takes up so much space. Like if the players that the Knicks want to put on them, OG and Mitchell Robinson, etc. If they just, get away from his body for a second, you can throw the lob. And that leaves a lot of room for guards to get into the paint, a lot of room for, kick out open three-pointers. So I honestly think, if this game didn't have such a big layoff, I would I would have ran to the window immediately when it opened and bet the over. I mean, both of these teams can take advantage of each other. Both of these teams play fast. Will we see it in game one? Probably. Will we see the great shooting with the week off or, a few days off for both teams? We shall see. I would only bet the over in this game. And as far as the side, you know, you can't ignore the Spurs. I mean, it was a fight to the death, 7-game series versus the Thunder. The Knicks, meanwhile, not only one sweep they're coming off of, back-to-back sweeps. I mean, this is a rested, healthy team coming into this first game and playing their best basketball right now. So as far as your question about the line move, I think that's what's being reflected as far as it coming down. And I'd probably agree with it.
Yeah, the old rest versus rust is always something that you have to think about when you got the hangover here. Skee, one thing I am wondering is you're looking to attack this game tonight. You talked about how these player matchups are kind of how does Cat roll into this? Do you try and fire on player props early? I mean, that's Andy's bread and butter, right? So we'll talk about what Andy has up, but is that something you like seeing how these two teams match up? I mean, we have the what we saw earlier in the season, sure, but come playoff time, it's completely different. So do you look to fire on player props right out of the gate? If you do, are there any players that you're looking to target heading into here? Or is that just kind of, hey, let's see how game one settles in. Let's see how the rest versus rust works. And that's how you're going to attack it. Thoughts on player props as we head into tonight?
Yeah, I do bet a good amount of player props during the regular season. I don't bet a whole lot during the playoffs, but I think
Okay.
you can take advantage based on what you expect the game script to be, or based on what some of the players or coaches tell you. In this game, if I have to pick one, um, and based off what I've seen from this matchup so far, this in the 3 times this season, San Antonio is more than happy leaving Josh Hart open. We've seen other teams do it. They're going to leave him open from 3. You have to give up something, and that's what they're comfortable giving up. And Josh Hart has shown, even though he's not the greatest shooter, if you're going to leave him open all game and let him shoot 6, 7, 8 threes, he can make 2. And I think his 3-point prop is probably 1.5 or something like that. So that would be one I look towards over. But they're definitely just game script dependent. I think you can take advantage of some player props.
Yeah, for sure. And Andy Lang has one loaded over his page. We'll talk about that in a little bit. Skee, what do you have rocking tonight then? It feels a little bit anticlimactic, the fact that we're talking NBA Finals Game 1, and then I'm going to ask you about tempo and liberty. But there's still money to be made, man, in the WNBA, especially when all eyes are on the court elsewhere. So what do you got rocking here tonight? You got anything in the association, whether the women's variety or an NBA for this evening?
Yeah, usually around this time, I feel extremely confident about every pick that I put up in the NBA, in the playoffs, in the finals, et cetera, et cetera. I do have a best bet up and available on my page. It's a 4%. And honestly, the only reason it's not a 5% is because it's the first game. But I do feel very strong about it. If you've probably been listening to me over the past few weeks, you probably can pick up on, how I've been feeling about this matchup. But I have a play that I really love tonight, 31-14 so far in the playoffs. If you can go back years, I'm up close to 200 units in the playoffs. If you want to rock with me in game 1, that's where you can grab it.
Yeah, I love it, man. And that's the thing, folks, is remember when he's talking about, hey, I like this play a lot. I'm not going to fire off a 5%er in game 1, but the difference between a 4% and 5% is 1%, folks. So this is still a very strong play for a guy who's sitting 31-14, and one of those was a horrible bad beat. So we could be talking 32-13. WT.buzz/HP is where to find it. The association of the women's variety is also rocking. We got some great deals for that as well. You can find them all over at Skee's page. But tonight, let's talk this tempo and Liberty matchup. We're looking at this thing's painted 8.5. New York Liberty favorites at home. Total in this one, 171. I know all eyes might be on the court that has the trophy in the center of it, but our eyes are value elsewhere. Did you find anything in this, Skee, that you thought was worth the wager?
Well, I'm still considering it. And what I'm looking at here is the total. when you look at New York, they've really been struggling to score the past few games. They've been facing some okay or solid defensive teams. Um, when you're struggling to score offensively, this tempo team is exactly who you want to see, especially when they're on the road. I mean, they've allowed every single road, 5 road games, they've allowed every team to score 90 points or more. So I think this is a game back at home where Liberty can start to look more like themselves again. And on the flip side, I mean, tempo, they're they shoot the three well. Both teams shoot the corner three extremely well, and they give it up as well. I think that the tempo can score. I mean, Mabry, if you haven't watched her, she's a bucket. She can really score on anybody. Sykes can score too. I see this being a really high scoring game. It's just a question of, do I want to only pick the New York side? I mean, their team total is 89.5. Like I said, the tempo, I've given up 90 plus in all 5 road games so far this season. Or do I want to include the tempo? And I'm gonna talk to my guy Rob Vino in about an hour. Maybe he can help me pick one or the other. But I'm thinking some kind of over in this game.
Yeah, I love it. And yes, coming up here, folks, we got profit picks just about an hour, a little bit over that away right here on the channel. You hit that subscribe button, folks. You'd be near the 250,000 subscribers that we have. You'll know when he and Rob goes live. A little thunder and lightning to formulate the card, man. I'm looking forward to that. That's coming by. So, folks, do not go anywhere. Skee, one more time, let folks know where they can find you, where they can follow you, and what they'll find over at your page. Let's rock on this, and let's get this winner tonight, brother.
Appreciate you. I do want to say, I don't know how often you do it, but you're doing a great job hosting the show. Yeah, everybody out there, if you want to win money betting basketball, I think it's a good bet to come check out my page and rock with me. Up 80. I'm up. My bad. I'm up a little bit over 90 units, I believe, in all basketball in 2026. Told you my playoff record, 31-14 so far this season. I bet I'm really, really confident about tonight. If you want to be involved, man, check me out at WagerTalk. And also, you can follow what I do on Twitter at Skee Profit. So appreciate you guys for having me, and keep killing it, Dan.
Appreciate you, Skee. Yeah, I'm only filling in when Andy is being a mule. So whenever he has another run that he's got to do, we'll see you then, Skee. Best of luck, man, tonight. Hit that play, and we'll see you next time. Appreciate you. Profit picks coming your way in less than an hour, maybe a little bit over an hour. You'll hit the subscribe button to know when Skee goes live. That's all you got to do there. And over at Skee's page, we got a lot of great deals here, folks. I'll let you know what Andy has rocking tonight, because over the last 3 days, last 7 days, no one's been better than Andy and the team, myself included a little bit, because we did hit a lacrosse play over the weekend. But over at all of these pages, this is one that is just awesome. For guys like Skee, for guys like Andy, they will be handicapping come football, but build your bankroll throughout the summer here. WNBA action. You can get it for $3.99. A one-time price gets you everything until the kickoff of the NFL season that'll start with the Hall of Fame game. And folks, that's going to be here before you know it. So WT.buzz/HP. Also a couple other deals. You can get 365 days at a super low price as well. So check those out. All of those as well. You don't have to remember them. You can always just go to, we have our specials page over at WagerTalk. So wagertalk.com/specials, and anything that's new, you can check out there. Also, we're always listening to you, folks. If you have a deal, if you have a combo pack, you have something that you would like, check it out here. You send an email here to our customer service, and we'll try and make something happen for you. What is rocking tonight? For my man, Andy Lang, WT.buzz/AL. Here, I'll show you, pull that up here on the screen, go full screen so you can see it. So what we're looking at here with Andy is a NBA Finals best bet that's going up tonight. So obviously you can grab that. We also love the play here in NASCAR that is going this weekend. Andy feels real confident betting this track this week. Also WNBA, we're going to include it with that NBA Finals bet. So you can grab that WNBA play and an NBA 4%er. Find it on over at Andy's page. He hit both of the $5 plays last night for the folks at WT.buzz/AL is where you can find it at. We appreciate you tuning in, folks. Andy will be back with you on Friday. I will be here tomorrow. What do we have on the show? Don't worry, Yanni the Greek is back. We're going to get you the Steam report. We also got Joe Ranieri on the show tomorrow, and Andrew McGinnis is going to break down Stanley Cup Game 2. And folks, Talk about betting some things off the board. CFL opening night, Montreal Alouettes versus the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Andrew McGinnis has a winner for free tomorrow on the show here for you. So tune in. Best of luck to everyone tonight. Enjoy game one. Buy that best bet from my man Andy. Hey, why don't you grab him and Skee tonight? I guarantee you they will not be the same play. So check him out, check Skee out, and check Bry out as well, wt.buzz/BP. If you enjoyed the show, folks, comment below and let us know what your best bet is tonight, and we will be back locked and loaded. Until then, folks, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. Best of luck, and we'll be back. Wager Talk today, same time, same place. Be the 250,000th subscriber, and we'll see you then.